The ruling All Progressives Congress, the APC, is preparing for a national convention that may make or mar the party ahead of the all-important 2023 general elections. For those who have monitored the polity for a long time, it's a general position that the APC has hardly known peace since its formation and recognition by INEC in August 2013. The monumental victory of the party in the 2015 general election and thus becoming the ruling party has only allowed the crisis in the party fold to escalate and grow in proportion. In many states of the Federation, the lines of division within the legacy parties that form the APC have become widened. Indeed, the APC is a perfect study in how a political party should not operate. Right from the interim leaders that bettered the party from 2013 to John Odige Oyegun to Comrade Adams Oshomole, no leaders of the party enjoyed peace during their reign. At inception, the Oshomole NWC that simply appeared to be what the party needed ran into storm shortly after the party's renewed victory at the 2019 general elections. That victory did not pacify the opposition to the NWC. Rather, it encouraged them as those who lost out in the power equation and the intrigues by the NWC to work in favor of some members made them enemies of the NWC. By June 2018, the unending crisis, which had effectively crippled Oshomole, got to a head, and the only way out was to shove the NWC aside, and a 13-man National Reconciliation Extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee was put in place under the chairmanship of the Yobe State Governor, Mai Mala Buni. Because of his experience as a former National Secretary of the party, Buni and his committee was also tasked to reconcile all aggrieved members ahead of the convention fixed for 6 months. That was in June 2020, and by this decision, the APC was expecting to hold its convention in December 2020. But it's over a year now that convention ought to have held. The Buni-led committee seems to have run into fresh crisis of its own, even though the committee has now announced February 26th for the convention. All is not well in the party. It's looking more like whatever happens, the upcoming convention may end up either escalating the problems or paper it over. Yet, it's just about a year to a major election. What is the hope for the APC? Our guest today on Jigsaw is one of the aspirants to the office of National Chairman, Mr. Sylvester Sonny Monidafe. He joins us shortly.
A very warm welcome to you. The program is Jigsaw. My name is Benga Aruleba, and we're starting today's conversation. Our guest is here, Chief Sylvester Sonny Monidafe. Jagaban Jimeta. Yeah. Jagaban means somebody who's powerful.
At the forefront.
The general.
Like
okay,
Asiwaju.
Asiwaju of
I'm
Jimeta.
extending the frontier of Jimeta.
You are the Asiwaju of Jimeta.
Yeah, the ambassador of Jimeta.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
Was that in preparation for the position you are looking for?
Honestly, I was taken unawares. The Hakimi called me and said they had met and wanted to give me. I said, okay. Initially, I refused, but they told me, like, look, it's not about me, it's about Jimeta. And that's my home, so I went for it. And I'm happy with the results so far.
You are a son of the soil,
yes, born there 65 years ago.
A Niger Delta man, born in Jimeta.
My father left Warri in 1950 from Brutu for Jimeta, and I was born there in 1956. The whole family, Francis Monidafe, the footballer, Mary, myself, all of us, Jimeta. That's my home. I'm in Nigeria.
True Nigeria.
Yeah.
Born in the north, but a citizen of the south.
Yeah.
So a citizen of Nigeria.
Of Nigeria.
So
yes.
Each time I read about APC National Convention and my mind goes to you, I keep wondering, what does this, my friend, want to put his neck in all of this for? What is the attraction that you want to lead the APC, considering what has happened to people who had held that office before, from Bisi Akande to Chief Odige Oyegun to
Shomole,
Shomole,
yeah.
none of them had a peaceful tenure.
Yeah. My love for Nigeria is number one, because we need to have a party that cares for the people. And when the APC was birthed in 2013, I was at the forefront at the state level. There's a lot that we can achieve if only we have the right focus at the top. That's why I'm there. And we'll get there. Problems are meant to be solved, we'll solve this problem.
We are not deterred by the intrigues that have always characterized the running of the APC.
I'm not. I'm honest, I am focused, I care for people, the love for people helped me to get on. Nothing will happen. All problems have solutions, we'll solve it. We'll solve all.
One can describe you as an insider in the APC,
Yeah.
Rooted deeply in the APC.
Yeah.
You were the chairman of the APC. First
ACN.
chairman, isn't it?
ACN.
The pioneer chairman of the
ACN.
APC.
No,
Sorry,
ACN.
ACN as it then was.
Yes, one of the legacy parties in the FCT.
FCT.
Yeah.
ACN was one of the legacy
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah.
So you should be conversant with the problems of the APC. To
Yeah.
outsiders like us, what really is the APC? Because the belief is that the APC has never operated stricto sensu as a political party that is just one block. You could always see the lines of demarcation between the legacy parties. You could always see it visibly in the running of the APC.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of the greed, if I may use the word, of individuals. Now, having said that, I remember the first time I indicated interest to contest in 2020. The issue of the legacy parties came up. I said, let's put that one aside. Nigeria right now needs to be saved. People are crying up being marginalized, rightly or wrongly. The South is saying they are marginalized. What better solution than to have somebody with my pedigree, Urobo man from Adamawa State. My father's grave is at number 11 Ore Street, Agbaro. My mother's grave is in Jimeta, Iola. I'm a Nigerian. These things come up because of selfish interests, mostly parochial, of course, and then ethnic, religious. I'm a unifier. So they are bound to happen. Anywhere you have human beings staying, even in a family, intrigues come up. Depending on the mom and the dad to sit down and say, look, this is where we are going, I'll head that direction. I have what it takes. It happens everywhere. No big deal, truly.
Yeah, but is it true that the APC was never truly united as just one solid block before it went into the 2015 elections? And then after the 2015 elections, attention was shifted away from building a solid party. Attention shifted to how to share the spoils of the electoral battle that the 2015 election was.
It's not true. You see, that definition is people's imaginations. Now, if we say we're not united, but we still won in 2015, then I wonder what will happen if the definition really happens.
Yeah, perhaps you rode on the crest wave of the popular demand that Nigerians were fed up with the PDP that had ruled for about 16 years.
No, right now, the masses are still happy with the APC. It's the elites. I know so. Because elections come up, we win. Now, the good thing that we can talk about is that President Buhari has refused to interfere in elections. In the past, there was a lot of outcry, but elections will come, the then PDP will win. They will tell you the president will never be disgraced. But Buhari said, let Nigerians have a free chance to choose. We are losing elections per second, but we are still waxing stronger because the people are with us. Benga, one thing that Buhari did, which has never been done by anybody, is to continue with the projects he made on ground. He told the ministers, don't start new projects, go and complete what you made on ground, which is why we are where we are today. Now, people are trying to blame the APC. When the PDP took over in 1999, Ajakuta was 95% completed. If they had done the 5%, Lokoja would have been a massive hub by now. Ikot Abasi, the mill there, if it had been working, if Alaja, Katsina, Oshogbo, Itakpe, name them, had been working, if the textile industry had been working, we wouldn't be here. So now, interests are coming up. And you know, because of the fact that we are in government, people feel that they just need to just get in and they will continue doing what they will do to benefit themselves. Under my leadership, we will not allow that. Nicely and firmly, I will tell them. Nigerians are watching us. We must do the right things. And the one thing that I have found very unfortunate about Nigerians is that we like praying a lot. After praying, we tell God to stay aside, want to help ourselves. If this, my plan to be national chairman, altruistic, I have a new saying. My ambition to run the party is an idea whose time has come.
An idea
whose time has come. And then I want to build a stronger, more united APC for a better Nigeria. It can be done. Matter of showing people the way to go. If they see that you are honest and you care for them, they'll follow you. And I know that many people will try to compromise. As nicely and as possible, I'll tell them, no, let's think about Nigerians, which President Buhari is doing right now. People expect Buhari to intervene.
Some of your predecessors in office had taken that stance, and it led them to nowhere. In actual fact, it led to their exit. One could regard somebody like Comrade Adams Oshomole as a very stubborn person, who would like to insist on his positions and his beliefs.
His way, or
and he didn't get him anywhere.
I will not be like
in spite of that, he still made enemies for himself, and his enemies still saw to his downfall.
I will not be like that.
One could also regard Chief Odige Oyegun as a principled man. Chief Bisi Akande, principled man.
Yeah. I think Bisi did very well. It's Oyegun and Oshomole that made some mistakes. Now, one thing I want to talk about is that all politics is local. Now, when I thought about this thing, March 17 last year, after consulting for close to 1 year, from June 2020, I now addressed a press conference here in Abuja. Then I went to Yola. From the world level, I declared my intention, local government and state. With due respect to the two that came after Oyegun, Bisi Akande, they did not really go down to the grassroots. They did not believe that they owe their loyalty to the world chairman. Now, whoever you are, I've become national chairman, the world chairman is still my boss. I did that. And then one thing I want to tell you about a very strong APC is that I was chairman of the ACN in Abuja. Now, Abuja is a unique place. People say it's like with due respect to my colleagues out there, they bring in the dredge from the other states to come to Abuja. And to survive for 4 years was a miracle. The same thing. I will make my stand known to them. Of course, we'll discuss at meetings. Before then, you will talk to your members, sell the idea to them. Not just come to the secretariat because you're the chairman, you want to impose yourself. No, I will discuss, consult, talk, sell my idea to them. For example, with the last registration, I know we have 42 million registered voters, APC members in Nigeria.
42 million?
42 million, yes, in Nigeria. If we can talk to the state chairmen, who are major stakeholders in this project, we should never take them for granted. Maybe because I was ACN chairman and we had running battles with the national secretary then, maybe. But the state chairmen are very relevant. Sell the idea to them. Look, talk to your members. Let's own this party. Pay 100 naira per member per month. That is 4.2 billion naira in 1 month. Multiplied by 12, that is 50.4 billion naira that the party can generate. Now that leaves the states with the money from FEC, their IGRs, and whatever, to give dividends of democracy to the states. The party becomes stronger. Now you can sit down and talk to them. Now, a party that is run like a business will not fail. We intend to convince members to be in the office by 10 a.m. every day, unless you are on assignment. Every Monday, we'll choose the day. Every Monday or whenever, we'll fix our appointments for the week or for the month. Sit down and analyze. It's a business, run it like that. And then we talk to people. We'll interact. Sit down, have weekly seminars or whatever, and then we'll talk about it can be done. I have that plan. With due respect to...
these are new ideas, really?
Yes.
Because I'm just wondering, you had been a party chairman before, albeit at the FCT level.
Yes.
Whether those ideas, we had tried to practicalize them whilst you were the chairman of the ACN.
We actually tried,
these are new ideas.
we actually tried to get members to pay monthly dues. But we are in opposition, we don't have money. They shut it down at neck. But now that we are here, we'll sell it to them. And we'll convince the governors. We're not fighting anybody. We just want you to be forward thinking. You know, you're a governor at best for 8 years. If you create a monster, you leave, it will consume you in future. So realize the fact that you cannot be a lord in the manor for so long. Maximum 8 years, you are gone. What legacy are you leaving behind? Convince them. Now they might not buy it at once, because I have a popular saying. I rephrased it. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. I've rephrased it. It starts with the idea. The moment you think about it, it has started. And that's what I'm going to plan. I don't expect instant success. Because if you succeed, you definitely collapse, because it's like a process. You don't jump from 0 to 100. If you do, you will collapse. So it's a process. We'll stumble and fall, learn from our mistakes, and move on. Before you know it, we are good to go. The party can be run. People are the best wealth you can have. Incidentally, my surname is, that's what it means. Imoni Edafe. It's a noble word. If you have people, you have wealth. Imoni is relations, people, Edafe is wealth. Now, if you have 42 million people registered, and you convince them 100 naira, that is 4.2 billion.
Every month.
Every month. Give times 12, 50 billion. Now give the states plus 1 billion. That is 37 billion. The remaining 7 or 8 billion is still there in 1 year.
That is assuming that you actually have 42 million members.
Well, even if it is 30, even if it is 30,
because,
we're not getting there
because elections
Yeah.
of late have put a very big question mark on
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those
yeah.
big figures
Yes,
that you people
I totally agree.
In Anambra State,
Anambra, I'm sorry.
you had a direct primaries.
Yes.
The winner of the direct primaries was credited with 288,000 or so
Isn't that
votes
360,000?
in the,
Yes,
at the
yes.
party level.
Yeah.
And then in the general election itself, he got less than 50,000.
Very unfortunate, and I don't know what happened.
I mean, how do you rationalize that?
Now, I know that I
And
cannot.
these 42 million members that you claim in the APC, do you know the turnout in the last general elections?
I can't remember exactly, but
Exactly.
it wasn't that high. Now, let me tell you something, even if it's 30 million, multiply that by 100 still, 3 billion. By 12, 36 billion. It's still money. It's just a matter of being focused. Now, doing the right thing. Now, that's one thing that we have to also correct. Party member registration. We must find a way to do it outside what we're doing right now. We must.
So what we are doing now is not...
I am
because
not...
I doubt if what we are doing right now is electronically driven.
I should never criticize the people there. They're doing a good job. But we'll do differently. We'll do differently. Numbers we have will be electronically covered, and we can just be sure that we have the number we mentioned. If it is 30 million people, multiply that by 100. That's 3 billion per month. By 12, that is still big money. It can be done.
Okay, we'll go on a break. It's for a reason, which is to allow our local audience to join us.
Okay.
The OB has ended. So we'll go on a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Issues are critical, germane to Nigeria's democratic process.
Politicians can only be seen maybe on television by judges. They should not intermingle, because once you intermingle, then you destroy the systems.
When the personalities are big, important to national discourse.
When you reach certain stage in power and you demonstrate arrogance to the extreme, there's no other thing that will happen to you other than to fall.
When the developments are seemingly complex, confounding like a 1,000-piece jigsaw, that's when we require bold, sound, and analytical minds to help put the pieces together. Jigsaw with Benga Arileba, now showing Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. on AIT. Jigsaw, demystifying the issues.
Yes, for those just joining us, a very warm welcome to the program. Of course, we started a little while ago, and of course, our guest is Chief Sylvester Sonny Monedafe, former chairman of the Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN, FCT chapter. He's an aspirant to the office of national chairman of the APC. Of course, you do know that the APC has slated his much talked about, much delayed national convention for the end of this month, end of February. February 26th, to be precise. That's the date that has been set. And he's been speaking on some issues within the APC, although we are yet to go into some of the issues, really. And okay, let me start this way. You had said much earlier on that the APC is still very much popular, and I tried to dispute that it's not true. And why do you want to lead the APC at this particular time that Nigerians are so much angry with what they have, the deal they've gotten from your party so far? You promise so much, and you are giving so little. You promise change. Nigerians have not seen much of change. If there have been any change at all, it's been negative. Yes. Why do you want to lead this party at this particular point in time when the party is almost at its lowest ebb in terms of acceptability?
Now, I'm sure you remember when I was in opposition, I was canvassing the whole of, in fact, Nigeria, Lagos and Abuja, radio programs, television programs, and it was quite strenuous, and we got there to deliver in government. Now, the point is that too many people have access to social media, and we believe so many things that we see. People are saying they've not seen change. I have seen change. Many have seen change. Now, the railway system, for one, the second Niger bridge, for two, just name them. For three, you have a president that is caring. He listens to the cry of Nigerians. He listens, and when he sees anything, he acts otherwise. For example, this issue of subsidy removal. When he got the report that Nigerians are not happy, he said they should cancel it until future notice.
In other words, he's shifting the burden to whoever will take over from him.
That's
because it's a burden that we have to face at one point or the other.
Yes.
So
now,
what is not state manly to want to pass the burden to an incoming government.
Let me just tell you
it's like a booby trap.
Before I came onto the industry, I saw a program, one of these social media platforms, that Nigerians should be ready to pay more for chicken and fish. Typical Nigeria, they will blame Buhari. Nigeria lost to Tunisia last week. Buhari made a phone call. So
why did he call them?
That is it. And it's just, now people that are serious, no, it's not true. This man is doing his best. Now, Benga, second Niger bridge, I have many Igbo friends. In fact, I have an adopted Igbo daughter. And in the past, they were screaming about this second Niger bridge. It will be commissioned this year. I asked an Igbo man, say, with my bridge, you want chop? I'm like, what? So either way, Buhari loses. But he's doing his best. Now,
Nigerians want to see changes in their life, changes in the country.
I bought a milk, the cola nut. They call it Mijingori in Hausa. 1 for 100 naira. I asked the guy, whose fault? He said it's Boris' fault. Does Boris sell cola? No. Everybody's mind is just that way. Unfortunately, social media is helping or not helping. But the truth is that Nigerians know the truth. You wanted change. Nobody ever envisaged how terrible the country was until we took over 2015. Took over, crude was going to almost $100 per barrel. For that, almost 16 years. And I saw the data somewhere. I think OPEC, under the PDP 16 years, they got over $1 trillion from sale of crude alone. $1 trillion. Minus IGR, minus other monies that they got. But find out one single road that is started and completed, not only road, project, none.
Yeah, but since we mentioned the issue of petroleum, the president cannot be said not to be aware of the issues in the petroleum sector because he had been very conversant with that sector right from his days as a military man, Minister of Petroleum, and all of that. Even in this government, he appropriated the portfolio to himself. So one had expected to see a whole lot of changes in that. And one way to see the changes is in the refineries working. 6 years and counting. The refineries have been the same as they were under the PDP. Meanwhile, he was the one who said there's no reason why refineries should not work. When he was campaigning to be president, he said subsidy was a scam. For 6 years running, he has maintained subsidy, which means it's not a scam after all, but that we were not doing the right things. And 6 years, people had believed that 6 years was enough for him to fix the refinery. That's the first place that we should have felt his impact and his competence.
Okay. Now, to fix a refinery, I think he has some partnership with Dangote and Bua. They're coming up. Number two.
The partnership with Dangote is just for the purposes of supplying him crude.
Then they have
It's
the
not
refinery.
Dangote that will have to come and fix the refineries.
No, the refineries. Now, to answer that question, let me just remind you that the petroleum industry bill was signed into law. NNPC is now a private company. The president doesn't have the right to just get up and say, this is how you should go. If he does that, the same people who are criticizing him will say, this is a private company, you have no business interfering. So the petroleum industry that has been privatized now have to find a way.
But in spite of that, the president still decreed that the subsidy should continue.
No, you see, now that's part of it, goes pari passu. If you have set up an industry that has not become privatized, and as a father, you see that if you insist they do it this way, Nigerians, which is the key thing there, will suffer the most. Nothing wrong in saying, okay, look, let's do it like this. The fact that he made that speech does not mean that he took the decision alone.
Is that the reason why the refineries are not working? 6 years under his
That is one matter that I need to get people from the Nigeria to help answer. Now, when they were building refineries in the past, by the way, he built it. He had a hand in it. Him and Obasanjo had a major role in building it. Now, other industries will come up, but it's not done overnight. I am sure that will come. Maybe that is why he said, let him push it forward, because truly the outcry was much. And for a government that really listens to people.
Pushing it forward is not solving the problem.
Well, at least right.
Solving the problem will be that Nigeria should refine the crude that its citizens will benefit.
Good.
So the question of having to import,
will stop.
Incur demurrage and all of that will stop. That is the only way to stop subsidy.
What if this shift is allowed for that to happen?
The shift to the incoming
government?
Yes,
possibly can do it. Now, hopefully, with me as chairman, APC will continue where we are today. It will be continued. It will be continued because the truth is that I am really saddened that my friends in the PDP have been made to become relevant. The APC allowed them.
Because the APC has
the APC allowed them
to
dominate. No, it's not. We didn't fail. We didn't fail. Now let me go there. Let me just stick to my notes. For example, as national chairman, I will appeal to the presidential candidates not to have a campaign office outside the control of the party, because there people make promises. I remember two promises. One by somebody late now, that Buhari will make the dollar and naira come at par.
1 naira to $1.
To $1. Somebody said it, but they now put it on somebody. And now, of course, APC. Somebody talked about, I keep forgetting that word, restructuring. Now, I have totally been against restructuring for a long time.
You've been against it?
Against it. Restructure what?
So you want this lopsided arrangement where the center is carrying everything and appropriating all the means through which the states and the other subnational governments can generate money.
Nenga, Nigeria is bigger than the 3 major tribes, Igbos, Hausas, Yorubas. See somebody like me, I speak for millions of Nigerians. Orobo from Adamawa, Abuja resident. We are in their millions. So what the structuring for some people is like, okay, give the Southeast a chance. What about the Orobos? What about the Sheki? What about the Jo? What about the Jukuns? What about the Igedes? What about the minority tribes in Yoruba land? So we restructure what?
Is that the prism through which you are looking at restructuring?
That and several others.
What about restructuring from the point of view that Nigeria, a country of over 200 million people, is too big a country to be run by one unitary police system? That you cannot police all parts of Nigeria from the eyes of one inspector general who is sitting down in Abuja.
Yeah. Now,
Isn't that a form of
let me,
restructuring?
no, let me,
Are you
let
opposed
me,
to that?
Let me, I'm opposed to it because,
You are opposed to
listen to me,
people playing a role in how they are secured.
who are the people? Now, give me an example. Let me give an example. Due respect to people, just permit me. An Erufai who is doing a fantastic job in Kaduna, if he has the state police at his disposal, the same people who are crying now will say, hey, Erufai is oppressing us. Now, you might say that angle you're talking about, having police at different levels, will make a difference. But the other side is that people will say they'll be oppressed. And then my friend, Wike, who just finished a program, for example, you give me a state police, what will happen from that? So in trying to solve the problem, we're not getting into more. If we only change our attitudes, we have restructured ourselves. The president said, okay, I want to give autonomy to the local governments. That's an element of restructuring. Who disagreed? The local government chairman disagreed. They didn't want to be cut off under the control of the governors. The president said, let's give the House of Assembly independence. They refused. So our attitude must change, must definitely change. Restructuring will also include how we behave. You are driving on the streets now. You see traffic light, digitalized traffic light.
Red, yes.
Red. 3 seconds. They'll just beat
because
it.
we are blowing siren, you drive past.
That's exactly. So a lot of things must change. We shouldn't just jump into whatever we are doing today. If we have the right attitude, it will work. Our attitudes are very poor, unfortunately.
Let me take you back to the reason why you want to be national chairman of the APC.
Yeah.
Can you go through that again? Why you want to be the national chairman of the party, in spite of the myriads of problems the APC is facing?
Number one problem that will be solved is that
what is the problem of the APC that you have identified that you are coming in to come and fix? And make the party truly a political
doing
party.
things the right way, obeying our party constitution. I have a roadmap. This thing came up since. I will give you a copy. Okay. My roadmap is here. I have policy objectives. That's the Nigerian agenda. Effective reward system. That has been the problem with the APC. We don't reward our members. Whatever the reason, I don't know. Synergy among all party structures and the arms of government. Benga, a DG, for example, will be summoned, that's the wrong word, will be called to the National Assembly. He will refuse to go. The same party. It shouldn't happen. Absolute transparency in party affairs. It will be open. Like our constitution says, we must have NEC at, maybe biannually or whatever. We'll stick to it. We must have a caucus or an elders forum or whatever. We must have them. Campaign promises fast-tracked and fulfilled to the later. Which means if we now come together, presidential candidate, please don't campaign outside the party. Now, every promise we make, we'll weigh it first before we make the promise. When we make that promise, we'll fulfill it to the later. Then
is there a provision for board of trustees in your this?
It is there. Yes.
Because the APC has never had a board of trustees since inception.
Well, ACN had it. And
ACN.
Yes, ACN had it.
That's just one
and
of the legacy parties.
And most of the things that we are doing in APC today were actually copied, with due respect, from the ACN. But like I told you, we have gone beyond ACN.
The ACN was the biggest of all the legacy
6
parties.
governments and whatever. Yes. Put that aside. Today we want to save Nigeria. It is there. Even if it's not the Gbenga, under my leadership, we wouldn't have allowed the APC to go into congresses with the crisis we had in several states. Elders forum will be set in all the states, including the FCT. Any problem, elders solve it. Call people, give and take. It will be done. These are things that I have seen. I want to correct.
What if it is the elders that are quarreling?
They will sit, they will sit down and they will talk.
Because that's what we have.
Yes,
that's what
I
we have
agree.
Also seen in the APC.
I've said it,
it's always the elders quarreling.
I've said it,
Is it not true?
It is true.
If we take each of the states where you have crisis now, let's start from Osun, for instance. Somebody was commissioner, was governor of a state for 8 years. Before he was governor of a state for 8 years, he had been commissioner elsewhere.
In Lagos.
For 8 years.
Aregbe.
He had been commissioner for 8 years. He then came to a state, he was governor for 8 years. And then he handed over to his successor. And then he started quarreling with that successor. And he is proud to announce publicly that he's fighting his successor. And then you ask, what exactly is your problem. What exactly do you want? You've been this, 8 years commissioner,
Yeah.
8 years as
Yeah.
governor.
Yeah.
You are serving as a minister. Your bread is over buttered, and yet you are still fighting your debt.
Which
That's
is-
the problem of the
Yes.
APC. So it's a question of elders now fighting.
Yeah.
Who, for instance, do you look up to in that kind of situation to reconcile them? Take the same situation to Ekiti State, the same problem.
Rivers
Take it to
State,
Zamfara, it's the same problem.
Rivers.
Take it to Rivers,
even
it's the same
Adamawa,
problem.
Even Bauchi, yes.
So it's
Now,
always the elders
you,
that are fighting.
you will need a leadership that is focused. Let me use this word. I used it on a program one day. Caller said they stopped liking me because I said it. Let me copy President Buhari's speech in his inauguration 2015. I belong to nobody. I belong to everybody. I tell them to their faces, see my kind of person. Roboman from Adamawa State. I don't play ethnic or religious or tribal politics. My 2 blood brothers are Muslims. I'm a pastor in youth church of my church. I don't play religious politics. I tell you as it is. Call them and say, look, let's have a meeting. Committee, go and resolve it. I will address them. I will say symbolically, this is the key to the office. When I'm done, I will lock it up until you sort yourselves out. You can call me, I'll come open the door. It can be done. Now, I also appeal to the, I made an
What
addition
if
to
the
that.
two of them agree to break the door?
They will
And that's the only thing they will agree on. They agree to break the door and go and continue the fight outside.
See, I think they must have a reason. Because I saw Senator Marafa speaking. I felt for him. But if you call them, all problems, Benga, have a solution. Maybe people
But they
just
don't believe that.
because, or maybe they have
in the
been,
APC.
their fingers have been burnt in the past.
And the crisis has always consumed the party. The crisis, the internal crisis of the APC was responsible for its very poor showing in Rivers
In
State.
2019,
It's
we lost 6,
responsible
7 states. Yeah,
in Zamfara State.
Yeah.
You have been losing needlessly as a result
Yeah.
of the crisis.
yeah.
The crisis is starting in Ekiti State, where you are going into an election shortly with a divided rank. In Osun, the crisis started long ago. You will be going into an election there too very shortly with a divided rank and all of that.
Hopefully, I'll be there before the elections take place in these 2 states. We will solve it. Talk to people. You see, I mentioned it earlier. I want to repeat it here now. Adeoti was my colleague, Osun State, ACM chairman. He was chief of staff to Aregbesola. We all thought he was going to be Aregbesola's successor. Something happened. See where we are today. Oshomole, when we had this ACM convention in 2010 in Benin, Pastor Izeyamu was the points man who was always representing the governor at our meetings. He ended up being the national vice chairman, South-South. That's where they ended up. My people from Adamawa, Northeast region, in Gombe State. Nanyi Magoje was governor for 8 years, minister of state for power for, and then this 3rd term as this. Now the common denominator of this is that after leaving office, they want to continue dominating. It's not possible. So we'll tell them, save yourself from future embarrassment and do the right thing. Because if you, even your son, you put him as your successor, you try to dominate. Let him do his work. If he calls you, ask for advice in private, tell him in private. Don't try to interject and say you must do this way. It's not possible. Now they have made mistakes. You call them and tell them to their faces that, see, I mean well, but see your mistakes. It will work. Being a minister in youth church for 22 years, one thing I can tell about my relation with the youths is that they know I love them. They know I care for them. So when I scold them, they know where I'm coming from, position of love. If you talk to these governors on a daily basis, or the elders, and they can trust you, they will trust your judgment. I'm not saying, like my friend Maimala, he just came in and he had a trust on him. I was told one thing, which I want to correct, that they'll tell the president they want money to run the party. The president will say, and rightly, no government money for your party. Generate the money. How do you generate the money? Let the party belong to the people. Tell the governors, please, we beg you, don't try to create a monster. Create a monster, it will consume you tomorrow. Benga, which Godfather, Godson relationship really exists till today. So we just convince them, tell them, and we will not expect results instantly. No, but just talk to them, one-on-one, call them, private chat, go for someone, just tell them, see, I get your point, you were wrong. You were wronged, but 2 wrongs don't make a right. Over time, they will see reason. Believe me.
One of the mandates given to May Malabuni when he was appointed the chairman of the
CPC.
the caretaker stroke National Convention
Planning Committee.
One of his assignments was to reconcile the members wherever there were crises before convention. In 6 months, he couldn't do that. We've counted 6 extensions like 3 times now. But there are still crises in so many spots. Just before coming to the studio, I was reading the crisis that is brewing in Anambra State, where they conducted parallel world congresses and all of that. That's just in Anambra State, where the party ought to even be stronger because you are not that popular yet. You need to build the party and put it in the minds of the people before you can then begin to see the prospect of governing and all of that. But even when that is not there, the party is busy fighting itself.
Now, if I answer that the way I feel now,
yeah, I mean, the
people might think
reconciliation.
that
Do you think we have done enough reconciliation for you to
I don't think
go into the National Convention?
I don't think they have. I don't think they have.
And what would that portend for the convention?
That's okay now. That's a new dimension. I was asked a journalist on Sunday, and I told him, the truth is that if we go into the convention on the 26th of February and decide to have elections there, the party will implode because people will feel aggrieved. Now, call major
So what do you want? So what do you
Our
see
constitution
happen?
allows us to have a consensus, direct or indirect primaries. Now, if congresses, if the 2, direct or indirect, will cause trouble, compromise. Just call people. Consensus. Look, okay, you might not be happy, but take this. Let's give here. Let's do that.
That's like
I believe.
That's just like papering over the cracks.
Well,
And the cracks will show.
No. Now,
Probably even show even before you leave wherever you are holding the convention.
Benga, if you now have, I was asked this question, and I want to tell it to the world right now. I talked about Nigerians being prayerful. God knows already who's going to be the national chairman. I will never fight against God. By chance, they don't zone this position to the northeast. Automatically, I'm out. As a party man, I should not complain, so long as the process is transparent. And people like me, who has been on this thing for 19 months now, June 2020 to January and to February, 19 months, I've been canvassing, consulting, campaigning across the board. Call us and let's talk. Okay, you step down for this. It can be done. Now, first assignment, once we assume office, we will now start mending fences. Because we tell them, put it before them. Look, okay, you have been wronged. What are your solutions? 1, 2 wrongs don't make it right. Let's have a solution. Give us a solution, let's see. Then you start. The truth is that you must assure people that you care about them, you care about their challenges, you're empathic to their problems, and you are willing to do the right things to solve it.
Isn't that what May Malabuni and his 12 other members should have been doing since June 2020?
Nenga, if I do that,
when you were given the task to reconcile ahead of a convention, shouldn't have been the major focus?
If I do that, I will be judging the May Mala committee. I will not say
you don't
anything.
want to judge them.
I will not. It won't be right. The point is, when
All
we
right.
get in there,
let me
thing.
put some very grim situation
Okay.
across to you, which is that there are some permutations going on right now as regards the convention and your aspiration. First permutation is that the post of national chairman may be zoned to the north. That's as far as it favors you.
I'm from the north, yes.
Yes. But that within the north is being micro-zoned to the north central. And the last time I checked, you were not from the north central.
I'm not.
So if that happens, what does that
As
make of
a
your
party man, the only thing that will concern me is, did they do proper consultation to arrive at that? If they did, fine and good. No need to worry. I'm not to convince other stakeholders. It's not a do or die thing. If it's not zoned to, automatically you are out. The key question is, was the meeting held transparently? If it was, fine and good.
Was the decision taken equitably?
Equitably. Simple, Benga. You see, we like, and it's not right.
It's either me or nobody.
Or
else.
nobody, my way or whatever.
Or no other
No,
way.
I'm not like that.
Okay.
If now one thing I know for sure is that I have convinced Nigerians that wherever they come from, wherever their parents come from, they can aspire for any position. When I started this campaign, many people told me, even in Adamawa State, young people were saying, are you from Adamawa? When I started telling them stories about their parents didn't even know about. Today, people accept me. I have achieved a lot. Even this Jagaba that I have now of Jimeta, if I don't win it, I will continue promoting peace. Nigeria, I made a comment here, let me repeat it here. A stronger and more united APC for a better Nigeria. That should be our focus. It's not about myself, it's not about my desire. No. So all these things are possible under the right leadership. If you say the zone has been done, you need to North Central, fine and good. Al Makura, Senator Musa, Sali Mustafa.
So
whoever.
you even know those who are
Of course,
contending?
we had on December 16, the APC press corps called us for like a manifesto presentation. And when they saw my own, they told me that they were impressed. I was prepared from day one. 2023 forward, I was prepared.
Don't
So-
you think? Okay, sorry. Have you landed?
So if it's done that way, if they feel I can start, because I told the press, I met them on Monday, last Monday, a week ago. I said, look, apart from youth leader and woman leader, I can be any position. I can be deputy national chairman. Yeah. My story will be fantastic. Urubu man, be national chairman, North. Really, people will be encouraged. Now, I can be national vice chairman, Northeast. The same story. I can be secretary of the party. I can be organizing secretary. I can be
is what
PRO.
Service to the party is what is driving you.
Most important, I want to make Nigeria a better place because truly, you can imagine now. Look at a good example, Ekiti. People were saying, complaining about APC. They turn to PDP about the same thing happening. And it's like, what's happening to us? What's happening to us?
That's why you have people who contested in the APC primaries on Monday, and on Tuesday, because they lost in the APC, on Tuesday, they are in Accord Party as candidates.
Well, with due respect, or Tom, I want to meet my friend Akume and say, see what you've caused for us. He lost the primaries Monday. By Tuesday, he became a candidate in PDP. He lost the primaries in PDP. By Tuesday, he became a candidate. No, it's not done that
And
way.
then it's back to the PDP.
Now, yes, now they are fighting.
Okay, we should be rounding off in less than a minute.
Okay.
And I'm just going to look at just one more issue, which is considering everything, equity, sense of fair play, politics, and all of that. Where do you think your party should zone its presidential flag bearer
To the south.
to the south?
South. Let them go and.
There are three zones in the
Yes.
south. So it should be a contest between the three zones in the south.
Yes, let them talk to themselves. You don't give power in politics. You canvass, you trade off, you exchange ideas, you bargain. Don't threaten people. With due respect to my Igbo brothers, don't threaten us. By the way, I have many Igbos. I have an Igbo daughter. Adopted. Grace Ekwebelem. From Imo. Adopted. My daughter. Now, I'm speaking for millions of people. Why coming to lobby? You must give us. No. Go and lobby. Under my leadership, for example, people ask me a question. People are trying to go and contest. Go and sell yourself. All I will ensure is I give you a level playing field. No mago. Even if we are going to have direct primaries, we must make sure we have our list of party members from the beginning. If it's consensus, transparently. If you do it that way, people lose, they cannot complain.
All right. June, sorry, it's not June. It's February 26th. It's just, we're counting
And by the way,
days.
21 days is the INEC deadline. So we have 3 more days. Today is 1st of February. So 25 days remaining.
For the aspirants
For INEC to be notified.
of
I want to appeal
the
to
convention.
Yeah, I want to appeal to
You are sure
leadership.
you are sure INEC has not been notified?
Well, if they have not,
If INEC has not been notified,
please.
they have just 3 days to notify INEC about the national convention.
Exactly, please.
All right.
Not for APC, for a better Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's leave it here. There will be some other opportunities, maybe probably maybe before the convention or after the convention,
With all pleasure.
to sample your opinion on some other national issues. Then, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Chief Sylvester Sonny Monedafe is a former chairman of the Action Congress of Nigeria in the FCT. He is now aspiring to lead the APC as national chairman in the convention slated for February 26 this year. Thank you so much. We wish you all the luck.
Thank you. My pleasure. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you too for investing your time with us. I'll see you around. My name is Benga Aruleba.